Today I'll be installing a short throw shifter in my 1991 Nissan 300ZX. As you can see, the shifter bushing is completely shot and the shifter flops around with no resistance. It's difficult at times to find a gear and a really sloppy driving experience. The short throw shifter should tighten up those shifts and give me a shorter throw. So the first thing we have to do is remove some of these trim pieces from the radio bezel. There's the long rectangle that's right over the radio unit, and then there are two corner pieces near the vents. That'll show us 4 screws that we have to take out. Once you get those 4 screws out, you can just pull the bezel, and at the bottom there will be a connector for the clock. I'm just going to unclip that and the whole bezel will come out. Next step is to remove 2 screws right above the shift knob and 1 in the ashtray, and then you can pop this center console up. The first thing I noticed after getting this out is that it is super dirty under here. There's an old razor blade, some nuts, some dirt, so the first thing I'm going to do is get this cleaned up a bit. Next step is to remove 4 12mm bolts that are holding down the shifter plate on the bottom. To get the actual shifter out, you have to remove 2 bolts from the top of it and then 1 sideways bolt under the bottom. Here you can see I removed the old shifter and that the shift link arm is free, so now we just have to do all the steps in the reverse order and put the new shifter in place. The new shifter was a bit tight to get into the shift link arm, but now that that's in there, all we have to do is go through and tighten down all of the same bolts that we used to remove it. I went ahead and put the shift knob on just so I can test and make sure I can get into each gear, and everything is looking good, so I'll just continue putting the trim back on in the reverse order. Immediately I'm able to tell a huge difference. The shifter is a lot stiffer, I'm getting into each gear easier, and it snaps back to the center. This is the old shifter, and as you can see, it's super worn. Inside that cylinder there is supposed to be a bushing, but mine was just completely missing. It must have just fallen out from age. And that's how you change out your shifter on a Z32. If you like this content, be sure to give me a follow as I'll be documenting my build as it comes along.